The nursing faculty, bless their hearts, were somewhat amused, I'm sure. They were not supportive.
With Bill, he came because he was studying medicine, and I knew he came from a farm background. And I think in those days, there were a lot of radical students in the 60s, right? And he didn't like the way he was being taught. And I could appreciate that because I never liked what I was being taught in school. In fact, I was the last one in the convent to be forced to go to college because, doggone it, they're not going to teach me what I need. And sure enough, I mean, as much as I tried to get out of the teachers, they gave me no answers like the people did as soon as I came here. And I just can't say that to congressmen enough and others, if you would just listen to the people.
Didn't you say, Betty, that Bill Dow talked you into going to Washington one time?
Oh yeah, I don't know whether to tell that story or not.
Nurse practitioners were just getting invented then too.
They certainly weren't being invented at Vanderbilt, I'll tell you.
Bill called me and asked me to go and speak to a health committee up there on using nurse practitioners in the clinics. And I said, Bill, I don't care. I can say whatever you all want me to say if you'll write it down. But I don't know what to say. Well, we'll write it up for you and I'll get it to you.
I guess, you know, somebody with a new idea, that's the price you pay.
What was the new idea?
Nurse practitioners, you know. And how did it, where did that come from? That came from the learning how to do a physical examination.
3 days before I was supposed to go, and he even arranged for Helene Cook to meet me at the plane and everything. He said, Betty, it'd be better if you wrote it yourself, and it comes in your words. I had not had English since 1955. So I sat down and I wrote everything I could remember about what we did to get the clinic started. Every little thing I could think of, I wrote it down. And then Randy picked me up and put me on the plane at 4:30. So that's how my statement got to Washington. And out in the hallway, there was the medical association was sitting behind me, nurses association, and I could hear them sniggering because I made it as homey as I could. I told them about my mother having all 11 of her kids at home, with 10 of them with a midwife, and a doctor with me, and he was drunk when he delivered me. And that's the truth.
Midwife was better, huh?
What happened was there was no money. There was money to pay the doctor through some government, but these physician assistants and nurse practitioners were a new thing and there was no money. But I remember Bill, and I don't know who else might have organized it with them, they got Rostenkowski from Chicago and Duncan from Knoxville, two congressmen, to fly down in a helicopter. And they landed on the Clairfield site and they saw what these clinics were doing. And they might have gone other places too, but it was quite an event for us to have. And that bill was passed quickly. I don't know how it happened. And
I read my statement and left. And Helene brought me back to the airport. And I was back home the next day.
And you got nurse practitioners for the rest of the life?
You all were able to write prescriptions in. I told them, I said, if they can't write a prescription, there's no need of anybody coming to the doctor. And then the same thing, keep a few drugs on site till they can give medicine to keep people from having to go 25 miles to get a prescription filled. It was the purpose of having the clinic.
so then I think the rural clinics boomed in Tennessee and in Alabama, weren't they?
It just was sort of things coming together. I mean, it was the right people at the right place, the right time. It just worked.